First and foremost, really, really proud of my team. Big time effort for us. Um, I thought we actually got off to not a bad start. We just couldn't make a shot early. I thought we got into a good rhythm. We were able to take a lead in the first half, but we did not end the half well, especially on the defensive end. From the under 4-minute timeout on, they scored every possession and finished on a 9-0 run. I thought we made a couple of adjustments in the second half with our defense. We were able to rebound, defensive rebound, force some tough shots, which enabled us to get out in transition and get some easy baskets. And I thought we did a heck of a job of executing against their zone. For us, for our 2-point guards to have 15 assists and only 2 turnovers was big time. For Femi to have, as a freshman, 8 assists and no turnovers against his zone was huge. Xavier, 7 assists, and only 2 turnovers. I thought the guy that really got us started was Audis. His energy, the plays that he was making, offensive rebounding, and he did an outstanding job defensively against Buddy. And then obviously, Ithio making shots, that's something that we have a lot of confidence in, in him shooting the basketball, and he got into a good rhythm doing that. And then obviously it was great to have Justin back. We kind of knew for the past few days that he was going to be able to play. He's been able to practice. He's been chomping at the bit. I knew that if he was able to play, I was going to start him. Didn't know how many minutes, but he's done a heck of a job of working, of doing everything he can to get back from this moment. When you are dealing with an injury, you have to have 2 things. You have to have a really, really good training staff, and we have that. And then you have to have a really, really good patient, a patient that's hungry. And with Justin, we have that. So he's been chomping at the bit to play, and he was able to do that, and he was magnificent today. So any questions?
Jeff, with the way that you saw, your team struggle the last time to start off against Syracuse against the zone, but like you said, you were getting open shots early on. What were the conversations that you had on the court when you were trying to just keep your team together in those moments, and then you eventually see the offensive breakout happen?
Keep moving the basketball, keep having player movement, keep ball faking, and keep taking shots. We have confidence in you. Be strong and be confident. And the other thing we talked about is look, let's turn our defense, defensive rebounding and things like that. Let's get out in transition. And let's get the ball to Xavier and the rest of you guys run. Earlier in the game, for whatever reason, we would get defensive rebounds and throw the ball to Ithia. We don't want to do that. We want to get the ball to X, or if Femi's in the game. If those 2 are together, you can get it to either one of those 2 guys. But these other guys need to be finishers. And I thought we did it. We made that adjustment and did a good job there.
Jeff, did anything Justin did out there and just the way that he looked, did anything about his performance surprise you at all?
With him, not really. I mean, maybe how many minutes he played, maybe the fact that, I kept asking him, are you okay? Are you tired? Are you tired? And he's laughing, no. And so maybe that, but, he's a unique kid, in the fact, he's got great genes and that he's been able to heal quickly. He's had 2, tough injuries since he's been here. And both times he's been able to heal very fast. And so, but when he's out there, maybe the fact that he trusted it, when you have an injury, especially with a lower extremity, one of the biggest things is trusting it. He's done that in practice, but you don't know how a guy is going to be when the lights come on. And obviously he trusted it fully today.
Jeff, what's your reaction when you're watching some of those highlight reel plays and his combination of IQ and athleticism?
Some of the shots that he makes, especially some of those left-handed shots, you're just kind of, I don't know, he made one today and I just shook my head because I actually thought it was a bad shot. But, he's got really good touch around the basket and in the mid-range area. And, again, he's got a long way to go to become the player that we think he can be, but he's on the right path of doing it. And I think he's hungry and he wants to do it.
Jeff, sorry if I missed this earlier, but how many practices did Justin get in before the game? And then separately, what did you like about how your team handled the zone?
Yeah. he practiced full for the first time, I think Saturday, where we just, the doctors and the trainer just turned him loose to see how he was. And then we had all Sunday, but he came in and did some individual work and got some treatment. And then, so I would say Saturday was the first time where he did contact. He was doing some stuff in practice, like our shooting drills, 5-on-0, like some of the non-contact stuff. And then we gradually started to introduce him to contact. So Saturday was probably the first full practice that he had.
Jeff, if you had, you talked about that little defensive struggles at the end of the first half. In the second half, you went up 11, and then they came right back with, I think it was an 8-0 run. But it seemed like the third time you got up, it was different. You guys played better with the lead. What changed the third time you went up big there?
Yeah. Alan, I'll come back to that. Danny, I didn't answer your second part of your question. How did we attack the zone so well? We were able to penetrate it. We were able to get it to the middle. Guys in the middle had poise. They made good decisions. And then we made threes. I mean, that spreads the zone out when you're able to make threes. Alan, to your question, we had that 11-point lead, and we were in transition, and we tried a lob, and we missed it. Where, it's in that situation, one little simple bounce pass, you lay it, it's 13, maybe you don't have to get it to 3. We know they're a good team. And with their ability to shoot the basketball from 3, they're scary because they can get hot. Boeheim, Griffin, Gerard, Guerrier. And so I was really proud of how we responded in that situation when they cut it to 3. We got back to get the stops, and then we were able to get out in transition. We found, kind of an action that we run that we had some success with against their zone, and we just kept doing it over and over.
Coach, on defense, you guys held Buddy Boeheim and Joe Girard scoreless from 3, and they really struggled all game to get any clean shots off. What was your plan to shut those guards down?
Well, one of the main things was to put Audis on Boeheim. And one of the things we talked about is that we're not switching. He's got him. He's not going to switch unless it's an absolute emergency and he calls it. I think Audis, his first 2 years here, I think he's been one of the better defenders in our league, and he's a versatile defender. And I hope people start to realize that, that he is, because he's having an outstanding year on both sides of the floor. And then with Girard, we wanted to pressure him. And then, to have an awareness for him. We knew coming in conference play, even though it's not a large amount, but he was shooting 47% from the 3. And then we wanted to attack him. We wanted to make him guard in that zone. We wanted to screen him. We wanted to try to penetrate him, and to do that. And then they set him for a while in the second half, so that helped us too.
Jeff, when were you, I guess when were you or anyone on your staff first notified about John being the subject of a potential criminal investigation?
Yeah, I'm not able to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about that. I'll talk about our game and our win and our next opponent if anyone wants to ask about that.
Jeff, can you describe some of the emotions that you felt being back on the floor for the first time in a while after a long layoff?
Yeah, it was exciting. I mean, I felt I was nervous, leading up to it. This morning, there were nerves, there was excitement, it was anxious. When I'm sitting back here before the game, it's nerves, all those different things. And, it was a little bit weird because I haven't coached a game in here. I mean, because I didn't coach when we played Louisville. And so I haven't coached a game in here, I think, since Gardner-Webb. And I think that was like December the 12th. And so just kind of getting my bearings back here for a game. But it was exciting. I mean, we were anxious to play against someone, and hopefully as we go forward, we were able to get these games in.
Jeff, I'm sure it's happened in the past, but have you ever seen in all years in the ACC a team score almost 100 against Syracuse's zone?
Well, Carolina did the other day. I think they had 81. I think that's what Carolina had. Not that I can recall off the top of my head, no.
Jeff, Ezeel Horton had another strong game shooting. This is his third of his last 4 games where he's hit at least 4 3-pointers. What can you say about his progress? You talked early in the season when he was struggling that he just has to keep shooting through it, and now he's doing just that.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to take good shots. He's got to have shot preparation. He's got to believe in it. Our guys have a lot of confidence in him, and they're looking for him. With the penetration that we had from Xavier, with Femi, he's been able to get some clean looks, and we have a lot of confidence in him knocking those down.
Hey, Jeff.
Was Nike available for you guys today, or was there something about the about the way the game was going or the matchup that you didn't like?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the first part of your question.
Oh, sorry. Was Nike available for?
Yeah, he was available to play. He was available. It was just he didn't get into the game. We got into a rhythm, and I went with the guys that were playing well in that moment. And but he's important for us. He'll be big for us, but he was available.
Hey, Jeff, you mentioned you shook your head at one of Champagne's left-handed shots. Can you recall which one that was, and what did it mean? What difference did he make in this game versus the one that you won 10 days ago?
Yeah, it was in the second half. I don't know exactly the sequence, like when it happened, but it was in the second half. It was like right around, it was like in the paint on our bench side. I don't know where the clock was, but obviously we scored 96 points. That's a big difference. We had 63 up at their place. So, his ability to score and finish in the middle of the zone on the baseline, and then obviously the rebound. Last time we played, Adis had 14 rebounds. But he makes a huge impact for us. He blocks shots. He's at the point now where he's talking a little bit more, where he has a little bit better understanding of what he's doing out there and what our team needs from him.
Justin, can you describe what it was like to be back on the court after kind of a long pause and not playing for so long?
I don't really know, probably I would say exhilarating. I was just really happy to be back, get on the floor with my guys and just be out there with them. Pregame, I was just, I don't know, I had the weirdest amount of energy. I couldn't stop speaking, couldn't stop jumping around. So it was just really exciting for me to get back out there and be out there with my guys.
Hey, Justin, you had 3 awesome dunks today. Which one was your favorite?
I would say the one where X gave me the assist. That was my favorite because they was talking, one of the coaches from the other team was talking a lot, and that just shut them up, I guess. So that got to be my favorite right there.
Justin, when you're talking about those pregame feelings, is it more nerves? Is it excitement, to finally be back?
Oh, excitement. I'm never nervous. I know that my teammates got me and I got them, so the nerves never really come out no more. But it was just really excitement. That's what it was.
Justin, did you have to adjust your game at all in deference to your knee?
No, not at all. The whole thing with my knee now is it's just mental and it's just my confidence. I can't shorthanded or be afraid to do something. I just got to go out there and go do it.
Justin, the initial timetable for your return was 6 to 8 weeks. Were you surprised at all that you were able to come back so quickly?
No, I said it. I said I got 2 or 3 weeks for them. After that, they couldn't keep me out anymore. I had to go play. I felt good. My knee felt good. And I just felt like I was ready.
Justin, did you expect to play the kind of minutes that you played tonight? My gosh, you have amazing physical capabilities to be able to play like you did, missing all this time with the injury. Did you think it was possible coming in?
I never doubt myself, so I always think if coach throw me out there, if he need me to play 40 minutes, I go play 40 minutes for him. If he need me to go play 20, I play 20. So I didn't really come into the game with the mindset of, I'm about to play a whole game. I just came with the mindset of whenever they need me, I'm here for them. That's really it. But I didn't surprise myself at all. I know what I'm capable of, and I'm glad I get to go out there and put it on for you guys.
Justin, I know you just talked about some of the chatter with one of the Syracuse assistant coaches, and Syracuse has kind of had some really good performances the last couple of years. So what is it like to go 2-0 against the Orange this year in a program like Jim Bay?
It means a lot. Growing up, that was a school that me and all my friends really was talking about going to and all that. But it means a lot to sweep them. They beat us last year, and I kind of took that personally because they came in here and they beat us by 25. So it feels good. We worked for this, and we're gonna keep pushing, and we're gonna keep trying to get these W's.
Justin, in the last game, your coach and your teammates were saying that you helped at halftime while you guys were at the Carrier Dome talking about what was going on with the zone and how they needed to improve. And then in this game, you come out and you're leading the way with them breaking the zone again. What can you say about your team and how you guys adjusted to that zone defense after some of your struggles this year?
I think that the main thing is that we listen. We listen to each other, and we listen to coach. So it's never we have some lapses where they score and they keep going, and we turn the ball over in the zone. But whatever we share ideas about what we got to do to change that. Everybody listens and everybody's open-minded, and that plays a big part in us changing around the moments of the game.
Justin, during your recovery process, when did you kind of first start to think, okay, it really may not take 6 to 8 weeks. Like I might be able to get back sooner than people originally thought.
After the first day, I said that. I mean, because this already happened to me in high school once before, so I know how long it took me in high school. So I said I got like 2 or 3 weeks for you guys, and I'll be back to play. So after the first day, I remember.
Justin, do you have a day where a moment when you felt like you were back?
Again?
Do you have a specific moment where you felt like you were back?
In the game?
Like a play early in the game where you were like, okay, I have my feet under myself.
Oh, when I caught the first dunk, I said, oh, I'm back. That's exactly what I said when I dunked the ball. I said, oh, I'm back. So that's the moment I felt like I'm back.
Justin, it seemed like you guys intentionally went a little faster against the zone today, especially after defensive rebounds. What was that like, and do you feel like that suits your skill set pretty well?
Yeah, I think we're a great team in transition. We get the rebound, get out and go. Xavier's probably one of the fastest guards in the country in my eyes. And it's good to have him and get out and just go. So that's like we play to our strengths when we do that.
And Justin, what did you learn from watching film from the first game that helps you in this game?
I watched the wings, like how they react when someone drives the ball, someone swings the ball, and it just really like showed me like when the ball comes across the top of the key, the wing always pushes back up. So that's the spot right there you go to. That's the open spot on the wing. That's what I learned from watching film.
Ithiel, was there where you felt like you were hot, where you knew that it was going to be a good game, where you're going to hit a bunch of threes like that?
Yeah, I went into the game really confident. I feel like I left a lot of shots up at Syracuse, kind of on the floor, especially the one at the top of the key. So I kind of just rethought about those shots and came into this game really confident and shot the ball really well.
Ithiel, how much difference is your confidence now than maybe just a couple of weeks ago?
I'd definitely say my confidence has grown from now until a couple of weeks ago. It's just gradually increasing. It's not going to get there overnight, but I'll get it there.
Ithiel, Justin was playing for the first time in about a month, obviously coming off of an injury that kept him out during that time. The guy that you saw out there today, how close was he to the expectations you had for him coming back for the first time?
I mean, to be honest, I think he surpassed the guy I thought he was going to be coming back. I mean, he had 2 putback dunks, and he was right back in the offense flowing like he's been there with us, even though he wasn't. So he definitely, blew my expectations away.
Being teammates with him and knowing him so well and seeing him so much, like, the guy comes back from an injury 2 weeks sooner than we thought he would, and he does that. Like, I mean, from what you see from him, are there just like some like superhuman, just kind of like freakish traits to him?
I'll say a little bit, probably a little bit superhuman, freakish trait. He's just like me though. At the end of the day, I'll still block that. But he's put the work in. He's put the work in over the summer. Obviously it was bad seeing him go down like that, but I think he came back and responded very well. He probably blew a lot of fans away too today. So I'm really happy for him.
Ithiel, what's it do for a team when a guy is making highlight plays like that?
Oh, it gives us energy. I mean, you saw us. We was hyped. The whole bench was hyped. From the managers all the way up to the coaching staff. Everybody was hyped. So.
Ithiel, what does throwing in 3-pointers in a row do to your psyche when you're on the floor? It looks to me like your whole game steps up in terms of your overall confidence.
Yeah, I mean, once I get that in my mind, like the rim is the ocean, I think the sky is the limit pretty much. And now I'm making plays for my teammates. I'm getting in there creating and not really worried about, okay, boom, if I mess up or if I miss a shot, like I got to get it back. I made a couple in a row. My teammates need me, so I gotta get back.
Ithiel, from your 2 vantage points on the, you guys dominated them in the offensive glass in the last game. As a shooter, when like you have that ability of Justin or Adis to go put a putback up, does that give you more freedom, to say like, okay, I'm going to shoot this because if I miss, they're going to go get it anyway?
Yeah. I mean, it definitely gives me more freedom to, kind of put up those deeper shots. And also it saves me a lot of energy. I ain't gonna lie on the defensive glass, not having to box out the big guys. I can just see if they get it and just take off down the lane. But I'm happy that I did that.
Ithiel, from your two vantage points as a spectator and as a player, what's the big difference between this year's team and the last year's team that lost to Syracuse by 23?
I think our rebounding, I would definitely say, is the underlining tone for this year's team. Last year up at Syracuse, we lost the game off of a defensive rebound. But this year, I think coach is really hammering home our boxing out. We're boxing out in practice every day. Coach is really hammering, find your guys. And so I think that's the big difference with us this year.
What can you say about the rhythm of you guys on offense? Because once you guys got going, you guys really seemed you were comfortable. You got 15 assists from Femi and X, of course, through this game. What was it just feeling like when you guys were just popping and moving every single possession?
It felt really good. The chemistry out there was definitely there. Guys knew where they were on the court. Guys, weren't stepping on everybody's toes. We had our spacing correct, and it just feels really good to play with a team that has a flow like that and an energy and chemistry like that. Hopefully we can keep that going up down there in Duke.
A couple times you guys took a lead and then kind of let it slip away. You had that 11-point lead and then went on the 8-0 run. But the last time, especially when it seemed like they were really putting up the defensive pressure to try to trap you, it seemed like you guys were just able to cut right through it real calm. What was different in that part of the game that led you to be able to play so well with the lead there?
Just kind of whenever we're catching the ball, just staying poised under pressure, knowing that okay, if there's two people on you, that there is one guy open, and just calming yourself down, and everybody if somebody's not open, go to the middle. Just knowing what we're doing in our press break. I think that was.
Ithiel, this was only your second game, and I think a 25-day span. I guess that winning by 20 kind of answers this in some ways. But did you all feel more well rested, or kind of a little bit rusty or weary just from all the cancellations and postponements and everything?
I think it was a mixture of both. I want to say we were definitely well rested, but yeah, we were definitely a little rusty. But we worked through that, and we're going to continue to work through that. Get better every day, practice, listening to what we have to do, and just keep getting better. So.